not quite done with the cladding, but we're now moving on to some of the finishing touches on the van, which is super exciting. Brooke's already done some of the finishing touches, which was varnishing the bike tray. We used Bondel Monocell teak varnish for that, the same as the bench and the table. And now we're moving on to doing the flooring in the van. So for that, we're using these self-adhesive vinyl planks. These are Durfloor branded from Bunnings. They've got a sticky backing that you peel off, and you just cut them with a utility knife and lay them down. So let's cut to doing that. Alright, so we've finished up our cladding, so we're now going to trim off the edges here where we've got joins. As you can see, it's got a bit of a rough edge there, so we're going to hide that. For that, we've got some PVC angle, so this is 19mm angle. PVC comes in 2.4 meter lengths from Bunnings. I'm going to cut that to length and stick it on and finish off those edges. As you might be able to tell, we're pushing this build to the absolute wire to get it done in time to move into. So we're working under the lights at the moment. What I'm doing to cut this is a little fine-toothed miter saw and just cutting it with that. And for the trim going around the shower, I'm cutting them on an angle so that they fit together nicely and join up around the perimeter of the shower.
Alright, so we've borrowed a label maker to make some labels for all of our switches because Julius knows which is which, but when I come in here I always have to ask, so it's going to be helpful for me but also helpful for you. So we're going to do the pump. Pete, feels like I'm typing on an old like phone, like the old Nokia. Wee, there we go. Pump up the jam a little more. Arts and crafts. Oh, I nearly chopped my finger off. I did that in primary school. Not the whole thing, just the tip. Anyway.
To trim off around the stair and tidy that up and protect it a bit, we're going to put some of this aluminium edge in there and just using Sikaflex to hold that in place. Couple of the other things we've done to close out the build, we put a carbon monoxide monitor in, so that's sitting sort of midway between our diesel heater and our gas stove. So it's gives us peak levels and it sets off various different alarms based on the level of carbon monoxide that it's detecting. So up above the bed as well, we put a smoke alarm and we just separated that a bit from the kitchen so it doesn't get set off by the stove and cooking, but so that we've got that whether we're asleep or whether we're outside the van or anything like that. Well, that's pretty much the last of the finishing touches on the van. Once that silicone dries, we'll take the tape off those edging strips and a few little bits to tidy up. We've just still got the last little bit over the door to trim off, which we might do in some carpet. We're going to leave that for now and just work out what we're going to do there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for finishing up the van. Just a bit of an update on some of our finishing touches, just because we're in a bit slack in getting the video up. We've actually finished some more, so I thought I'd show you how I did that. So over the top of the door here, I've just got some upholstery carpet, and what I've done is popped that seal off, the door seal, so it pulls off, because it also folds back in here. There's a bit of a crease, but I've actually pulled the whole thing off and then cut a piece of carpet there. For this bit around the corner, I held a piece of cardboard up on the outside and just traced around that as a template, and then measured and left enough length there, and then yeah, pulled that seal off, tucked the carpet in there, and it's sort of sitting in there snugly. There's a few little spots, so I could probably tighten it up, and then just tucked it up in there and tucked it round there. And we did the same up over here as well, so it just finishes it off a little bit better than the bare metal of the inside of the van, and it was a lot easier than cladding it with timber. Brooke's already done one of those, which is we used Bono. Shakes camera.
It's called clutch. Off to a great start. Let's cut some flooring. This is the angle for me. Oh.
You got the phone set up?
What phone?
For the time lapse.
Nah. Let's just have this angle. What do you reckon? No? Okay.